Welcome to Bless Your Heart. Every proper Southern lady always tries to be polite, and the infamous phrase, bless your heart, can convey a bevy of meanings without the taint of impropriety. On this show, our ensemble of diverse Southern women will discuss an array of topics that will bring out the bless your heart in any well brought up girl. So, ladies and gentlemen, be prepared to meet award-winning entertainer, actress, photographer, and social media celebrity, Jenny Ann. TV personality, model, actress, motivational guru, and best-selling author, Cameo Bobo. World traveler, educator, animal lover, actress, and model who just launched her own fashion brand, meet Jen Jackson. And our hostess with the mostest, voice-over personality, fashion designer, star among stars, and community activist, the rhinestone heiress herself, Morelia.
Bless your heart. I'm Morelia. I'm here with Jen Jackson, Cameo Bobo, and Jenny Ann. So how are you doing today, ladies? How's it going?
Well, it's going.
It's going.
I tell you, on the way here, I passed a lemonade stand.
Oh.
And who doesn't love a good lemonade on a hot day like today, right?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Listen, when I was a kid, I had a lemonade stand and I would sell them for a quarter, right? You get a cup, you get a quarter. This little girl wanted $5.
$5
for
a cup?
of lemonade. I mean, I know inflation is a thing,
Wow.
but she wanted $5. She started waving at me. She's lucky I waved with all my whole hand. I mean,
I bet she took Cash App too.
But I mean, there is something. Maybe she's trying to start a business. Maybe it's going to. I should have thought maybe outside of the box, but I just can't pay $5 for a glass of lemonade.
Yeah, well, that's what's going on now with these children entrepreneurs. I read about a girl named Aileen Morris. She went to the bank with her not her son, her father. And you know, back in the day when we would go to the bank and we would go to the teller and we would get a lollipop.
Of course.
So the teller offered her a lollipop and she declined because she's not allowed to eat candy because of her parents. So it struck an idea in her mind though. So she went home and figured out how to create healthy lollipops. And so now she's created a whole brand called Zollipop. And they are healthy lollipops that are Zollipops.
Are they made out of like vegetables and stuff? Or
Are they sugar free?
I don't have all those details, but they are healthy for your teeth. And I thought it was pretty cool because, you know, this is a new world where as long as the parents sign on, children can have whatever business they desire.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
A real good young business was Girl Scouts. I was a Girl Scout.
Oh, me too.
And
I was a brownie.
of course, I sold.
Okay.
I have to brag. I did sell the most cookies.
All right.
Listen, my grandmother made sure of that. How many boxes do you need to win?
But have you
100.
I don't know if you've noticed now, but they are smaller, and there's less cookies in the box.
Wow.
I think you could trick me, but back in the day, they used to be bigger. The cookies were bigger. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well, they
And
also
it's
have
more
all these
expensive
new flavors.
Yeah, they do.
I think
What's
like
your
Thin
favorite
Mint,
kind? That's what I
tag-along
was talking about.
s'mores. And
Yeah, the
some of
mints
it.
were always a big
Yeah.
hit, and then of course I like
Thin
the.
Mints.
I like the what's the like the sugar what the those are the tag.
the sugar snap ones.
Yep.
Yes.
Thin
Yes.
Mints in the freezer. Have you ever done that?
Oh yeah. Hello.
Good stuff. Good stuff. We don't buy them very often in our house, but
Yeah.
because the
Well-
kids eat them all, you know.
Well, I know we were talking a little bit about sweets, but sometimes we need to, as you can see, we're kind of sweet looking ourselves right now. We're snazzling. We got the rhinestones, embroidery.
I don't have any bling, but I got this
But
fabric.
you have to also have a little everyday wear as well, girl. Well, today we are special guests. I happen to be related to him.
Okay.
And this happens to be my brother. His name is Manny, and he goes by Manny. Wear it out, and I hope he'll explain
Can't
that to
wait.
all of us and kind of explain the whole process. I mean, we were kind of born into this, so we kind of know ahead of time. But I don't know how you all are about fashion and
it.
putting things together and how things are made and all the cool stuff and all the wonderful people who've actually worn our family's clothes. You know, like such as Johnny Cash.
Awesome. Woo woo.
You know, Marty Stewart, Jack White,
Awesome.
Lady Gaga.
of
right?
course, Lady Gaga. Yes.
I mean, can you please bring some names to the table?
Oh, no, I can't help it. Sorry.
I've got a question
Bless your
for you.
heart.
So I'm just guessing that like your baby clothes all had embroidering and like right.
Now, I am a little guilty. When I was younger, I always had like M's embroidered and flames up the legs and flowers and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But as you get older, when you know how to kind of wear it and, you know, got the movement and the groove to it, it's a lot harder to get it when you're basically a non-paid customer such as myself, as I'm reminded quite often through my father. But because it is definitely not a non-paid price.
Yeah.
Listen, honey, you popped out sparkling.
No, thank you.
That's the truth. That's the truth. I like that.
Well, I'm kind of excited because Manny's been kind of breaking out on his own, and he's learned it young, you know, early on, being around the family life in the store, and he's going to tell us about what he's doing now, and then else is
exciting.
what the explanation why we all have pieces on that he actually
Yes.
worked on.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
pieces.
Well, when I
Gorgeous.
saw him outside and I had on just my little t-shirt, he's like, honey, you need a jacket. And I was like, okay. And it just happens to fit. So, you know.
Perfectly.
Well, you're
I do
kind
have
of
a
the
good credit
ideal
card out there.
size. Yeah, we
I do have a working credit card.
Hello.
Yeah.
You hear
Yeah.
that? Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
And I noticed like a little detail. And is your jacket like that too?
On the
What, the
Like, even
lining?
inside,
The
like,
lining.
I love that
Gorgeous.
lining and those colors. It's
No,
like such a
it's
cool little
fabulous.
added.
And I like what you have on too because I
like
love
it too.
a little loose,
I
you
do
know.
too. It's kind of
And
like,
you can, and I, it's a, I heard it's
yeah,
it's like an oversized shirt that you
Definitely
can wear
my
as a
vibe.
dress.
Yeah.
Listen, that is the perfect outfit to wear with a glass of lemonade and some Girl Scout cookies.
oh, there you go.
That was good. Yeah, bless your
That's a whole lot of sugar.
Oh, anything
Well,
can happen.
speaking of Southern, what are some of your favorite Southern sayings? Because we were kind of over here
Yeah, that's
talking, and,
true.
and you said something about an elephant and a tick, and I'm like, no, honey.
I heard it wrong.
called-
I don't know. I'm gonna mess it
Okay,
up.
you know, when you eat too much, what are we? We're full as a tick. And she said, there's an elephant involved. I said, there's no elephant. But bless your heart.
I was told wrong. I don't know. I don't know the Southern slang. But we'll be back shortly. None other than with my brother, Manny, with Wear It Out. And the legend does continue with the Manuel line. So we'll be right back.
I love
Let's
it.
rock. Hi, and welcome back to Bless Your Heart. Well, we have our guest, Manny Cuevas, who I happen to be related to, is my brother. Hey, how's it going?
All right. Thanks
It's kind of nice to have a little testosterone at the table.
and beautiful ladies. You know,
Yes, thank you.
an apple doesn't fall far from the tree, they say. You know? So thank you for having me, ladies. This is really, y'all look incredible. And
Wow,
Thank
maybe
you.
a little
Thank you.
partial. We are wearing
Thank
you.
pieces made specifically by you. So,
thank you.
so tell us a little bit about what you do and how it's done. You know, and then ladies, don't be afraid. Ask a question. He
Well,
doesn't bite.
Well, so I was, you know, I started sewing at the age of 6. I would show up to the shop every day after school and basically look over the employees' shoulders and,
Wow.
and watch them do their work. You know, once I would take the trash out and sweep the floors, I'd come back with about 80% of leather scraps. And I'd always go over to the bootmaker's kind of department and grab his tools and kind of start slamming away. And he'd kind of nurture me and taught me how to use the tools properly. The sewing machine that he uses would have a roller foot instead of a flat foot like the rest of the machines that the rest of the people would use in our shop. So I finally got comfortable enough where I sat down on this machine and I learned how to do a lot of fun, intricate turns on this wheel-based leather machine. And really, I was fascinated by doing leather pieces, working on leather pieces. And that's kind of where I was inspired.
Wow.
And then, I guess when I would look bored, my dad would always say, hey, draw me a floral, an abstract, an animal. And good gosh, I never thought of it, but it was just kind of instituted into me. And
Yeah, you were in training.
And as you
Yeah.
see these pieces, this is kind of what has evolved. I was part of the move to Nashville in 90 when I graduated high school. This isn't something that I wanted to do. I wanted to go into the military. I wanted to become a fighter pilot.
Wow.
And my dad said, two things to me. He said, you didn't get enough discipline in this household. And I thought, where's this coming from?
From the most non-disciplined.
And then, the second thing was like, what do you think I should do? And he says, well, I want you to work with me. And I thought, well, okay, well, what do you want me to do? And he says, well, whatever you want. And I thought, well, that's kind of the advice you always give us, to everybody. So I got involved in the business. He had already relocated my stepmother and my youngest little sister, Jessie, here to Nashville in 89. I worked with them for a year. And in literally after that year 90, I finally sat down with them and said, why don't we move the business to Nashville? And, are you gonna be around any of my sisters? I've never seen, I was attached to this hip my whole life. So my sisters would always kind of come and go, but, doing their own thing. And so he said, well, let's put it together. So I put the plan together and we relocated the whole business from North Hollywood, California to Nashville. Later on, just a year after, Morelia ended up moving to Nashville. I brought her to Nashville as well. Her mother had passed, and it was just the greatest opportunity to kind of have my older sister, myself, my dad. My father was kind of going through some changes in his life, so it was like a bachelor and bachelorette house. We were having a great time, and one of the things that I had seen my whole life that Manuel would do was after he would design something, he would rip his designs up and throw them away in the trash. I never understood that. I always thought, wow. So one of the promises that I made to him when I relocated the business here was that anything that I worked on or he worked on or that we collaborated, I would go ahead and document and date it and put the name of the client on the piece of paper. The piece that Cameo here is wearing, basically what I did here is this is from concept to reality. We cut the pieces in real size form. I go ahead and I make a stencil of the sleeve, for instance, right here. I draw everything by hand. I come back with this perforating machine, which is kind of like a tattoo machine. It's very hard to find these machines, and they're really nowhere to be found in the United States because people don't do the work like this anymore because of technology, obviously.
Yeah.
So what I do is I come back with this machine and I basically trace my design with I perforate my design. I lay it out consistently to the rub off that I did, in this case to the sleeve. And then I take this stamping paste and it seeps through the perforation. It leaves an imprint of the artwork on the fabric. So then I sit down and I hand this to my embroiderer. I pick out the colors that I want him to use. If there's a certain stitch technique that I want him to use, I kind of guide him through it. And he runs and he basically colors it in, and does his magic to it. And this is what comes of it.
Gorgeous.
Once the embroidery is done, there's several steps. Once the embroidery is done, we come back and we embellish these things with rhinestones. We're really known for using a lot of Swarovski crystals in almost anything and everything that we do. And we do the rhinestoning. After the rhinestoning is done, then the pieces are assembled. So one of the things that you see here, my sister Morelia wearing the roses. The roses is a huge staple of our family name. It's something that we've drawn as long as I could remember.
It's like the first thing we learned to draw, it was a rose.
So I wanted to ask you about your tattoo because I kind of noticed it looks similar to this. Did you design your tattoo?
So the roses on my no one arm basically represents no one knows the reality about this except for my sister and my dad and I and the family, because these are all the roses that I've drawn by side of my father Manuel since I was a kid. And they're here embellished on the pieces.
I was going to ask what your inspiration was. So that
people get these confused. They think they're daisies. They're actually margaritas. They grow on the.
That sounds like his name.
Yeah. My dad says that the last time he had a margarita, he had me. So anyway, they grow on the tail end of the Sierra Madre that trickles right into Mexico City. That's where my mother's from.
Okay.
They grow in abundance of very vibrant colors. And the leaves that grow off the stems are different than what I've kind of created here, but that's my trust arm. So I've got my mama on my trust arm.
I love
So
it.
those are my margaritas there, you know?
Yeah.
So beautiful.
Um,
Love that.
Yeah.
So
So
beautiful.
everything that these beautiful ladies are wearing right here, I did create. Jenny Ann is wearing one of the new pieces that I made. It's a one size fits all. What's really has been happening with this piece. It is for men. It's a pullover Henley with abalone buttons.
And now this is like from the ready to wear line, correct?
Yeah, this is the
All right.
limited stuff that I'm doing right now. That's very limited. I made this in 5 different fabrications. It's a chambray, so it breathes very well. It's a natural fabric.
Beautiful.
What's been happening is the wives, the girlfriends, the daughters have been, the fathers are purchasing these shirts, and then the wives, girlfriends, and daughters are taking their daddy's shirt, boyfriend's
That's the
shirt.
best way.
I
Yeah.
would steal
And
this.
they're wearing it as a dress with
Mhm.
leggings, with
Yeah, I'd
heels,
like to
with
hear a lot
boots,
more
and-
about it. Like, so when we come back, will you tell us a little bit more
Absolutely.
what you're doing? And we'll be right back in just a few minutes.
All right.
Bless your heart.
That was awesome. I enjoyed that.
And we're back. Bless your heart. As we were just talking, Manny was explaining the ready to wear line and the piece that actually Jenny Ann has on. And you were saying how you
I
love the
love
fit.
it. It's so comfortable,
Mhm.
and I love that it's got the sheen to it because it kind of dresses it up, and it's I love it. It's a good vibe. I like the collar and the whole and it's a nice length and it works.
Breathable.
Yeah, yeah. And Cameo said it actually looks like something from my closet
It
already
does.
too.
Yeah. It fits it perfectly.
Yeah.
The things that I create that are limited, I try to. It's all about dressing up, dressing down. Obviously coming from the Manuel family, we're so known for making these very flamboyant pieces. But these pieces like this are classic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're not going to go out of style, and they're versatile. I mean, you could wear it and again, dressing it up, dressing it down. You could put a belt around it. You could wear your
Yeah,
leggings
totally.
underneath. You could wear it at the beach.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
Just
didn't
around
think
the
about that.
house,
Yeah, that's true.
cooking.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, I'm not much of a cook, so that's why I married an Italian.
Well, I know Jenny was asking. I know you're starting to teach some classes. I heard some sewing classes that are here locally in Nashville at the textiles. Correct?
That is correct. I
Awesome.
just did my very first my first sewing class just last month. It was so inspirational. I had 8 students. It's a Western shirt class that
Oh,
I
cool!
taught.
So they get to
Okay.
leave with something.
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
what they make is a Western shirt. So it was 3 days of fantabulous fun. I'll tell you, I bring my industrial sewing machine, so they get to use a real manufacturing
Oh.
machine. I bring my kick press, so they could apply the
Awesome.
rhinestones, the snaps, and use real equipment that is being used
Do the real
in
process.
facilities.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm. Wow.
not
It's,
just the
it's so
home
different from what people are thought to know and what they're learned in school. In fact, we're going to learn some more. We're going to go over and see the clothes in person, and he's going to talk about a little bit more of the new pieces and what he's doing now. So we'll be right back. Bless your heart. All right, we're back. Bless your heart. And now we're over here looking at some of the pieces. And this is the ready to wear line pieces that you're talking about. And I know that you've shown at Fashion Week many years ago, which was a lot of fun. We were there and we just had a blast. If anyone experiences Fashion Week, let me tell you, lots of fun. But we had also the ready to wear line. And we actually had a standing ovation. So you might want to talk a little bit about that and what this is and what this new stuff that you're working on and what it is.
Well, and so just to get everybody caught up,
Mhm.
I've licensed the family name, the Manuel name, 2 times in the lifetime. We've always done just one of a kind pieces. Once these pieces are made, they're never duplicated. And we still continue doing that. I still continue doing that as kind of a heritage and just being taught and brought into it. The second time that I licensed the name was in 2005. I headlined New York Fashion Week in Bryant Park in the biggest tent. It was epic. I did it 3 times in a row. I headlined Mexico City Fashion Week. I got the ready-to-wear clothes, which has always been limited. Anytime that I've manufactured pieces, I've done, maximum of maybe 100 pieces in it per style, and in different colors. So it's always been, I still kept it very unique. Since then, what I did is I ended up getting a little sick in 2012, which kind of pushed me back. My career was taking off. I had to kind of slow down a little bit. I guess the Lord was telling me to kind of hit the brakes for a little while, and it allowed me time to be with my children, but I still kept on creating. I've come back now, and I'm working with an incredible outfit out of Round Top, Texas. Our establishment is called the 550 Market. We have the Round Top Dance Hall. We have the Stone Cellar restaurant as well. Our boutique is actually called Rockabilly Baroness, and we have 5 other rooms where we feature other artists at every showcase that we do. It is a destination location, so people come in the fall. The big show's in the fall, 3.5 weeks, and in the spring, which is also 2.5 to 3 weeks. These pieces are being featured there at Rockabilly Baroness. Jenny Ann is wearing one of the pieces. It's a chambray. It also comes in the blue, the light gray, the kind of the shark skin gray that kind of matches the blue a little bit, and then kind of like the brown rust that I'm calling. I also created these incredible. I think they're pretty sexy and hot.
Everyone likes a good tail
Razorbacks.
Yeah, that's a flattering cut on most women.
This here, what I did was I ended up just taking the right side of the fabric, trimming it with the wrong side, and did the flip flop on that. The next couple pieces that I have here are leather, washable leather.
These are like the Lenny Kravitz pieces. I can see Lenny Kravitz wearing something like
So
this.
these pieces,
the arms and the whole.
yeah,
Right?
totally, absolutely. Again, dressing up, dressing down.
You're not taking this one.
Okay.
Jen's already got one.
Not taking it.
She's purchasing it, I guarantee you. And I like the white. Now, you were saying this was bleached,
Yeah,
correct?
so this is actually, this is
So
a double
soft,
ribbed
though.
cotton,
Yeah.
and this is a finished cotton, so it is bleach white. This is the raw cotton, so it doesn't have any color in it. It's kind of like an off-white, still pretty natural. The fit is the same, washable, hang dry in the dryer, light dry with the knits. The leathers are all machine washable but hang
that's
dry,
Oh wow!
Okay,
which
cool.
is
That's
really
awesome.
nice.
I like that.
And again, they could be worn up.
We already got 2
dress it up, dress
customers
it
already in
down.
the house.
So
2
I-
customers.
So I have a question. Like I'm all about rockabilly. I love rockabilly. So where did you come up with the name?
Well, I didn't come up with the name. My business partner, that's kind of her handle.
Okay.
Her name is Kathy, and she's been named that for a while. So
Okay.
there was nothing better
So it's
than
kind of
to
her
name
nickname.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Awesome.
nothing better than naming it Rockabilly Baroness.
Yeah. Very
And,
cool. I
But
love
you
it.
call your stuff Wear It Out. And can you
Yes.
tell them why?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you. So it was back in it was the late 1990s something, late 90s.
I always make
And
fun
I
of you.
was sitting around, and my sister was giving me heck about these outfits that I was creating, and my dad was too. I basically looked like I was taking apart my grandmother's couch and
Wearing them as pants.
wearing them as pants and vests. So I was making a vest and pant outfit for everything that I made. And one day Maria says, "So what are you going to name your business?" And I said, "I don't know." And she says, "Boy, you just wear it out all the time." And I thought, You just said it, Maria. I said, wear it out by Manny.
He also wears
So-
it
I
out.
didn't
He
know that.
kind of
So-
has a way, you know.
So
It's a
I,
little Clevis flavor.
so I do give my sister props for that. She did give me the name, So that's where the name came from.
Great name.
Yeah, thank
It's a
you.
lot of fun.
So how often are you in Texas, and how often are you in Nashville, and are you traveling other places, or what are you doing?
Texas, I'm there now. So we've just created the summer nights for the summer. So the first weekend of every month we have a music festival, and we keep the boutique open till midnight.
Oh, wow.
So I'm usually there that first weekend.
Is it rockabilly
promoting. We do rockabilly country.
Jenny's
we do,
trying to get a job.
We do a
I'm
little
like-
bit of everything there. It's a great establishment. It's beautiful. I mean, we have a restaurant as well. So I'm there for those events, and I'm there for the big shows. So I'm there in the spring and the fall for those 3-week periods of time. This is when I'm there.
Ah, so awesome.
So it's a great place. I recommend everybody coming. I've I've come to see that, notice that if you can't find it there in Round Top, then it's just not invented.
It's called Barren Round Top.
Round Top, no, it's just
Okay.
called Round Top.
Oh, Round
Round
cool.
Top, Texas,
Very cool.
just south of Austin.
Well, we're about to send around up here, and I just kind of wanted, get a little last minute opinion from everybody, or maybe a little fashion remark before we go.
I'm gonna round up my crew, and we're coming to round up.
Jen is the one
You
who
can count me in. When I
Can't
say
wait.
I'm doing something, I am doing it. So
Can't wait.
I'll
Can't
see
wait.
you there.
All right, but we're heading there in August. Come on,
All right.
first week.
All right.
And we need to make one for me, so I need one too. Because
Do you have a website or anything?
Yeah.
Absolutely. My website is weareitoutbymanny.com. You can see all the pieces. You could view some of the fashion shows that I've done at the website. You could see some of the updates. Most of the time, what is posted on social media just filters right into the website.
Cool.
So it kind of keeps you up to date, but don't ever hesitate to reach out personally and, create something together that nobody has seen. And, as I tell my sister and my dad, what's the next piece? We don't know,
And there's never a dull moment.
I love that.
And if anything, the legend continues.
It's a work
There
of
we go.
art.
Yes,
Thank you.
definitely.
I love it.
Well, we're about to wind up here, rounded up and rhinestones and everything, and we're happening. So bless your heart and hope to see you next week.
Thanks for letting me wear one.
You're welcome.